All right, guys, it's Tuesday. Club Top Shot back after a little holiday break. Lots to cover in the NFT space and Top Shot as usual. Let's do it. Damien, you can retire. Let's call up Steve Kerr right now. Tell him you're done. 3-on-2 game.
Oh, I'm an incredible basketball player. Awful shooter. Awful shooter.
Nasty jumper.
Would you ever gamble on shooting?
Here we go.
Me.
We got jaw lighting up again.
On that note, let me go.
All right. Club Top Shop going up on a Tuesday.
Love. Breaking news. Peter Jennings out of Club Top Shot for the next 8 to 10 weeks due to a rec basketball league in Denver, Colorado. Fucking Peter Jennings, man. He rugged us to play old man hoops with Levitan and probably like Brandon Stokely. But we are here. We got MBL. We got Andy. We got Jack. What's up, guys?
What's going on? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
It is.
It's been a crazy New Year so far. It's been a pretty hectic couple days.
Seriously. Yeah. And I was just thinking too, it still blows my mind that a year ago at this time, I legitimately didn't know what an NFT is. Had never even heard of it in my life. And here we are now. Yeah. As Andy referenced, lots of stuff going on in the space. It's been a while since we've all gotten together. MBL, did you have a good holidays?
I did. I have very little to report, to be honest. I was out earlier in December at a beach. I'll remind you. It was a great time, and did very little over the holidays and New Year's. I was actually supposed to have a little New Year's rager at my suburbs house, but we canceled due to COVID and young children everywhere and safety first.
Were you gonna charge admission to come play your pinball machine?
No, but I was excited to have a 4-player pinball event. Yeah, there's a 4-player mode where, like, as the first person loses a ball, the next person goes. So each person's game is midway through while you're all going.
You need to host a pinball tournament.
I'd love to.
Affair. All right.
I can definitely do that, and it doesn't have to be low key. I got big aspirations here.
There you go, Jack. You still slumming it in Florida?
Still slumming it in Florida. My dad did read to me the 4 headlines on business something today. Maybe it was CNN, business. I don't know what it was. All 4 were crypto or NFT headlines, like the top 4. It's insane. It's a revolution. Just proud to be a part of it all.
Yeah. I mean, Andy, would you attribute the Melania Trump NFT as kind of rocketing us into the mainstream?
It's finally the recognition we deserve.
I haven't even looked into that too much. I just saw the tweets, but that is absolutely incredible that she has her own.
Can we do? I know this isn't our 1-year anniversary, which will come, but just like maybe a year in review, just off the top of our heads, involve the chat as well. Like, think back to like March, April, May of last year of like what's like the craziest or funniest random shit that was going on in NFTs that I feel like we totally forgot about. But in the moment, it was like, oh my God, like Josh Hart dropped like the middle fingers or whatever. Like just random shit like that.
Man. Yeah, I'm trying to think Yeah, so you're almost saying like what feels the most random in retrospect, looking back at stuff?
Yeah, just like, or something that we thought was like massive, but if it happened today, it would literally be like the most, like Jalen Suggs like sold it, like Andy and I were going to be bidding on like his shoes of the shot he hit in the Final Four. Like if he did that today, no one would buy them.
How long ago does the Gronk NFT feel? Like that feels so long ago.
Also, the Andy Murray's tennis one, that pranks you one to play against Andy Murray in tennis. I don't know if that actually happened. If he actually played him, do you guys remember that?
I didn't even know that happened.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, it was on like Beeple's NFT platform, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Beeple himself. He made a comeback though. He's like kind of relevant again.
I feel like
he's relevant with the normies.
I was just gonna say my trajectory on how I thought of Beeple, it changed so much within like a month. It went from this guy who I thought was just like on the bleeding edge of the NFT space. Like the biggest sale I remember listening to, was it a Clubhouse, I think, about him and the guy who bought it. And he was like waxing poetic about the metaverse and how it's going to and I was like, holy shit, guys, this is insane. And then in about 2 weeks, I was like, this guy's the biggest boomer artist I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, fuck people. I want to own some more crypto dick butts. That was your mentality.
Yeah, then I found Comma Gang and people was dead to me.
Oh yeah, Common Gang's a good one. Eddie, Pixel's picking up some steam today. How with the car release? What was what was that?
Out of nowhere. I have no clue. All of a sudden, I saw people with cars from their Pixels. Like, what's going on?
The companion things are too good. Ludog brings up the Man's Coin 4.2 ETH sale.
That was
huge,
great.
huge moment in 2021.
Yeah. The man.
Our Zed races were fun. Those were good days.
The Zed episode with Bales and Levitan was wild. That was too also when it felt like Zed could just become this massive thing. It is kind of interesting how, like, Jack, when was the last time you have messed around with Zed stuff?
I get 1 ETH offer, ETH, wrapped ETH offer,
Yes.
like once every 3 weeks on my one horse that I think I paid like 7 ETH for. I got rugged by Doofy though. Doofy screwed me. I was just trying, and then I was setting up Doofy with all my people.
I know he was a fast talker. He was a fast talker. I think
he genuinely meant well, but I also don't know if he did, because he really screwed me with an awful horse for a lot of money. So it is what it is. You live and you learn.
I will say we did have a fun Deposit Kingdom Zed moment the other week. Those guys have been grinding it. One of the fractional babies of FVV, one of our original horses, Deposit King, made it to the grand finals of some tournament. So I was actually sweating some Zed races with the Deposit Kingdom guys the other day, but still a soft spot for Zed. I feel like in the right condition, I still want to live in a world where I can go to a bar at night and just put sweat like some Zed horse racing at the bar. That still seems like a logical fit.
Totally. I still think it makes sense. We knew that all the regulatory stuff was going to come, but we were also promised that like whoever invested in them, who was it? Chernin maybe, was going to make that all go away or have the right regulatory processes for it. And, we just don't. Everyone says, isn't there a Zed token coming?
Should we get Doofy on the line and find out? Maybe I'll remember when we did that meeting with Doofy. We hopped on like a Discord call.
He was like too much of a fast talker, too salesy. I was like, I can't handle this.
And then he was getting married right after. I remember.
Yeah. He was getting married like 8 hours after we spoke.
But he was still grinding it. Andy, so what you mentioned the fast start to the year, a lot going on. What's really been pulling your attention in every which direction lately?
Well, it's been like a ton of kind of like the next breed of PFP projects that have been popping up. There's like the Lemons and the Coolmans and the Alien Friends, and there was some new Ape one, and then there was the Bored Apes racism scandal. That was an entertaining day. Twitter was completely unhinged that day. Like, it was total chaos. And then like the GameFi NFT stuff with like the Magic ecosystem and the small brains, and I'm staking NFTs everywhere. I'm gonna totally forget I even have them because they're on some obscure smart contract where I'm earning some new token. It feels ridiculous.
Yeah, I have to tell a quick on the Smol brain story. I mentioned it real quick in our chat. So in the Club MGMI thing, they hunt down the Discords and the whitelist opportunities. So this was on October 18th, and they say, hey, this one looks good, Smol brain. So I joined the Discord, and they say you have to draw a picture and put your Discord ID. So I did this on December 18th, and I got on the whitelist. And then when it went to mint about, I don't know, a month later or something, I went and I saw it wasn't on Ethereum. It was on, how do you say it, Andy? Is it Arbitrum?
Arbitrum.
And I was like, fuck this. I'm not bridging money over to this. Like, whatever, I'm done. I get pings on New Year's Eve, and a couple of the guys, shout out InQ and Tom Chambers, were scrolling through old images trying to see if anyone, they were trying to rescue people from the club who maybe submitted and forgot about it. They ping me. They say you can mint 2 for free. And the floor for one of them was like 2.5 ETH at the time.
What?
Literally just found 5 ETH in the couch cushions here with the Smol brains. And now the ecosystem's popping off. I actually want to hear Andy talk a little bit
Wait,
more
what are they
it.
at? What's the floor now?
Well, there's the females and the males floor is like almost 5 ETH.
Did you hold or you sold
I
your
sold
Smol?
my female and I still have my male Smol.
Wow.
Just ridiculous. So, but Andy, what's your thoughts on Magic and what's going on over there? I mean, it is really cool how the way that the brains literally get bigger on the NFT, so your NFT like changes. I mean, that's stuff you couldn't do on ETH, I assume.
Honestly, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, you're not staking yours and making your brain get bigger?
I don't know. I'm staking it somewhere and like trying to earn like a car or something. I don't know.
Yes. We got the cars are coming.
That makes the brain bigger.
Yeah.
I literally bought Magic like 36 hours ago.
Okay.
Basically I've just been getting into all these like different GameFi things. So like I've been enjoying Jewel and obviously like done pretty well there. And so then I bought like Magic and some of the stuff there. And I bought one of like the Genesis Legions and I got 2 small brains. It's just funny even saying it. And then and I'm like staking some Magic, and then I bought X consoles, which are these like GameFi. They look like little console things, and you stake those to earn game tokens. And so each one earns 1 game token a day, which is currently $500 a token. And so I bought those for like 2.5 or 3 ETH each. And now the floor on those is like 6 or 7 ETH. There's only 1,000 of them. So, you know.
So what's the
like, so
final
that
ruling?
one-
Is NFT summer back? Is that what we're in now?
This is what
I
it
think it's
feels
like
like. When
this
Andy's talking about silly
GameFi
NFT
summer.
projects and laughing, that's
He's
when
like
you know
giddy.
we're
He's giddy.
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
when you
this.
know
Yeah.
we're in the bull
It's because
market.
they're, like, it's so stupid. Like the words that are coming out of my mouth are totally insane. And the next thing that I was going to say is even worse. Like, so the dev of this X consoles thing, for the first for a long time prior to launching, you were only allowed to message in the Discord in Morse code. like it's a really really weird project, but the idea is to be like this like gaming play to earn launchpad. I don't know. It's this really interesting thing of like these little micro game economies that are coming up around NFTs and like mostly the promise of games more than actual games. It's all very interesting. Most of them will probably go to zero, like basically all of them. But it's definitely very exciting and fun.
Mike,
Remember the Top Shot game?
hardcore?
Yeah, I feel like they may have gone as far as saying they're like not doing it anymore. I don't know what's the latest on that. Does anyone know?
Rugged. It's just a project that rugged.
Might be a rug.
Not
I don't really
like
want them to
anyone.
do it. I'm very fine with them not doing it. Let someone else do it.
Well, we did think Rakeback was rugged, and then that came out of nowhere. Maybe one day they just drop hardcore on our ass.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mike, are you enjoying NFT summer?
Yeah. The one that I'm having the most fun with right now is the Nate Alex ChainFaces arena.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
guys in that? Do you have warriors in that?
No, so
I've been
I
reading
had some
about
old
it.
ChainFaces, and I thought that I could use those, but I don't think you could. And so
Oh,
then
you were able to mint new ChainFaces for free if you had old ChainFaces.
yes, yeah, I missed all of that, so no, I'm not.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's cool.
It's fine.
a really cool idea.
Yeah, I've got 10 battle scars on my 2 warriors here. They're hanging in there. And do you guys know the rough mechanics of that? Have you guys been following along?
I've heard.
I don't know.
Overview. Yeah, give people the overview what it is because it sounds cool.
Okay, so basically, Nate Alex came up with this project. He gave out free mints to Squiggly holders, or his previous 2 projects, I think Squiggly and OG ChainFaces. The rest of them he sold for, I think, 0.069 ETH each, and there were roughly 30,000 minted in total. Then for a 25-hour period after mint, you could opt in with each NFT individually to enter the arena. Can I share my screen for this?
You can just
Okay.
get all those porn tabs closed out, Mike.
Yeah. I've just done a new window. That's the safe move.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, incognito browser wouldn't share anyway, so I think you're probably fine.
Okay. Okay. All right, hold on. It's popping up.
As you're doing this, people want to know what you're wearing, Jack. Is this a cloak? Asked Scott.
Just a hoodie. Just a hoodie. Not as cool as Andy's hoodie, but just a hoodie.
All right. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the way it works is you can opt. These are what the NFTs look like without the red markings when you first got them. You opt in for the arena, and basically the way the arena works is there were originally around 17,000 warriors that entered. Every 15 minutes, roughly this many warriors, so 23 now, started with 30, it's decreasing, are killed in battle. So what would happen is my NFTs would move from the alive section to the fallen section, and then you lose them forever. You never get, they're burned. Then you also have the option of leaving at any time. So if I were to leave right now, which I can do, you would get this much Ethereum per warrior that exits. If the longer you stay, the higher this number gets. And I think it's got some Squid Game elements where the last NFT standing gets some like huge amount of Ethereum and a lot of pride. And there's little other things every 10 rounds that pass. So now we're at round 100. 10 sets of 10 rounds have passed. You get one of these red battle scars on your NFT for each round that passes. So if I were to pull them out now, they would keep these battle scars, which are very prestigious in the aftermarket.
Was this what chain is this on?
Ethereum.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it has like some pretty elegant smart contract back end stuff going on. Nate's a really, really smart dude. Obviously goes without saying. In order to like handle basically the alive and dead ones and like killing ones off, it's actually like not that incredibly gas heavy.
Interesting.
Yeah, so just for some additional data, the cowards are the number of NFTs that have left the arena. The fallen heroes are the number that have died so far, and you can see the graveyard. This is all NFTs that have died. This rotates through NFTs, and yeah, it's fun. I don't know if they're going to do anything with these NFTs after the arena is done, but Nate has indicated he's going to do other kind of experimental, fun things with smart contracts going forward. So this is just an example. And
is your plan just to leave them, Mike?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was this idea or concept, do you think, inspired by Squid Games?
So everyone's riding the Squid Games ChainFaces arena thing. There's like memes everywhere with people overlaying these faces onto like the Squid Games characters. Okay. Yeah, it's a big thing. I don't know if it was inspired by it. We can ask Nate.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is like, it's funny. I was thinking about doing this prior to him releasing this, but it's like my idea, my NFT thing kind of comes from a similar style of thing. I'm thinking a lot about like what it means to do fully on-chain, like a fully on-chain battle royale, or like basically like fully on-chain, like social coordination games and like challenges. And so like ChainFaces I think is really cool, but like I think it'd be cooler if it wasn't just random who got eliminated and there was some level of like you could try to do something to not and be more skillful than other people. And so that's kind of what I'm excited to see people continue to experiment more with and that stuff. But it gets really hard on Ethereum, and it gets really hard in general because of blockchains. Like you can't ever do anything secretly, so you have to do a lot of like commit reveal tactics where you like say what you're going to do, but it's a hash of it, and then you prove later on that you had already said that. There's this other game that's out right now called I think it's avsb.xyz. Yeah, and so you basically just vote A or B, and whichever one has less votes wins all of the Ethereum. That like you have to put up some amount of Ethereum to play, and you vote on one side, and you can vote as many times as you want.
I feel like Jennings would love this. This is you know, playing this courtside at the game here.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see more of these like coordination line games, that kind of stuff.
So was this what you were just talking about? Is that what you were referencing in your tweet where you were talking about spinning up a project, or is that something else?
No, so I won't. I can talk about it. It'll be fun. But so the idea is basically to do fully on-chain Survivor,
Let's fucking go.
but with like, but it'll be really fast with like 2,500 people. Every 15 minutes, someone's voted out, and once you get down to 3 people, all the voted out NFTs have like 1 day to vote on who wins.
Yeah, it's
And they win
great.
all the money.
Fucking love this.
I want in.
So I think it'll be really fun because once you get eliminated, you can still sell your eliminated NFT, and someone who's still in could buy it from you as a vote for themselves in the future for one of their winning NFTs. And so you like create this really interesting market for eliminated NFTs where like maybe you want to hold it because you're working with a group who have all agreed to split the profits if you win, or like maybe you just want to sell it because you're not working with a group and you're just going to sell it to a group who does want to split the profits if they win.
Yeah.
And like I have no idea what'll happen, but I think it'll be interesting.
How far are you going to map the game on? Are there going to be immunity idols?
I think for this first one, no. I was actually thinking about it. I was thinking about trying to figure out how you could do that, but probably not for this first version. I want it to just be like pure social coordination. Can you convince other people? And especially since it's every 15 minutes, like you probably need friends who will vote with you when you're asleep, or like especially as the game gets down to less people.
So how can this be influencer dominated?
It definitely could be.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen. And but part of it too is I'm not going to like provide very much infrastructure for people. I'm just going to be like, you can buy these things, and whichever NFT is left wins all the money. Good luck.
Lord of the Flies.
And I know you're looking for a different chain. I saw everyone coming out of the woodwork. It was like Shark Tank on pitching Andy their chains.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do it on Polygon, just because it's so cheap and easy, and there's already like even on because you're gonna have to be voting a lot if you want. Like, so one of the nice things, you don't have to vote every single time. If you don't want to vote, you don't have to. But like if you do want to be voting often, doing it even on Arbitrum where it would cost like $1 per vote is still way too much. So
yeah,
want to do it there and just have it be really, really cheap. Especially because the game is only going to last for a month and then it goes away forever, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, although I mean, if it's successful, you'll want to do multiple seasons.
Oh yeah, for sure. If people like it and it's fun, we'll definitely do multiple seasons with.
Is that what this is going to turn into? Is just on-chain reality TV shows? Like I'm thinking
genius.
Bachelor, Bachelorette in some form or fashion.
Pros versus Joes.
Can I be the your less earnest Jeff Probst that hosts this for you?
Ooh,
that'd be fun.
Wait, what about like Deal or No Deal? That could be fun on chain.
Yeah. The other one that I want to do is what's the coordination game where you like both have to work together, or if one person betrays the other one, they get the money, and if both people betray, they both lose the money.
The Prisoner's Dilemma.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. It's like the golden ball or something.
Yeah. There's like definitely fun stuff you can do with that. I don't know. I want to keep messing around with like basically like what would a battle royale look like on the blockchain? And so you can't have aiming and shooting with guns, but you can have like, doing very particular actions on chain to other people.
Would you write this all yourself, Andy?
Yeah, I wrote most of the code already.
It's crazy.
And
Great.
Like there's no
what
fucking
is code
rule book. Yeah, like where do you even start like with something like that?
I don't know.
Wait,
proprietary secret.
And this code's not on the blockchain yet, right? You just
I haven't deployed
like in here. Yeah. Deploy it.
This is a great concept. My fun deal or no deal effect is every time I turn on any television in my house, it defaults to deal or no deal because there's like Samsung TV now, and then you have to turn on the cable as a second step. And Samsung TV has like 20 channels, and one of them is deal or no deal 24/7. So I watch a little snippet every day.
Yeah. What about what's the game where you can't Price is Right? That could be good.
Basically anything like this that turns it into a casino.
Okay,
I think
Andy, how about what's the game with Steve Harvey? Family Feud. That could be interesting because it has to take in like the fan voting into the actual polling of the questions.
Jack's literally
Something to
just
think about.
naming every game show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Telling
naming
you.
games that
Get it
I'm
up.
naming games that would make sense. I'm naming games that would make sense.
Oh my god, American Idol, Andy. All right, people record their stuff. Yeah, that sounds sweet. Definitely looking forward to that. What else was I gonna say?
Did you guys see this new
Can we-
OpenSea round that was just announced?
Wait, can we get
No.
an ETA, Andy, on your game?
I don't know. I'm just because I'm so busy with fractional. Like
It's just an
it'll
E.
probably require.
Just an E.
Hopefully next week.
Oh, all right. Perfect.
I'm so busy. It should be out in like the next 48 hours.
Wait, Pete, did you win 30 grand or something like last week? Can you tell us about that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Underdog. I thought you were talking about my Smols again, which is also 30
How
grand.
rich? How rich?
Yeah, so I drafted a team on stream at the end of August with Eric Beimfor, and that team finished 8th in the BBM2, the one that
Wow.
Jack claimed he was going to win it all year. And, you know, one of us kind of just laid low and, you know, just kind of actually put our money where our mouth was. Up there,
No, I would never finish 8th. That's honestly embarrassing. I'm either going to win the whole thing or, you know, just not even participate.
But yeah, it was, we were legit live. There was a point Sunday afternoon where we were live for $1 million. Basically the first thing that killed us was, we had a low score at tight end, but we could survive that because none of the tight ends were doing good for anyone. But then Noah Fant on the Broncos ended up getting up to 18 points. So that like just created a built-in 10-point gap that you couldn't surpass. And so then we were kind of shooting. We were live for like second and third there for a while. Ended up not quite getting there, coming up a little short, but to like have a sweat for $1 million for a second, while down in Miami, it was legitimately quite the thrill. So
Yeah,
shout
that's
out
awesome.
Underdog. Yeah.
Sean Mannion.
Congrats.
Kirk Cousins, unvaccinated, may have cost you like 250 grand.
Yeah, not quite because we were blocked by a couple Devontae.
Oh, you were
Adams
blocked
teams.
on Devonta?
Yeah, but
what
we
about
could've gotten-
MVS though?
Yeah, you're right. We did have a unique MVS. The other one that hurt was like we had the Dak double stack. Lamb didn't even count in our winning lineup, and then Gallup did count, but then left out for the season
towards the ACL.
And so the way the best ball scoring works is like it's not helpful if like Lamb has 12 points and Gallup has 12 points. You want one of them to have 25. And so when Gallup got the touchdown, we're like, all right, now we're good. Now we just need one more Gallup touchdown, or we had Keenan too. We need one more Keenan touchdown. Neither of them got there. So they both stay at 12 points. That doesn't count to your score. But the huge 2 wins for us in that lineup, we had Jamar Chase, who has like the greatest
monster
day ever. And then we had Rashad Penny, as I believe he was our last round pick on the Seahawks. And so when Rashad Penny, and he was like 6% owned, I think, in there, was just going off, it was like, holy shit. And Liam, my chess coach, who ended up winning it all, he had both Penny and Chase as well. Yeah. And he had Singletary, he had Noah Fant, just a really good team that pulled away.
Wait, chess coach Liam won the whole thing?
Yeah, he won $1 million.
Wow. so is he still gonna coach you, or he's gonna buy an island? What's his plan?
Yeah, it's funny. He was a lot more successful at best ball than I was at chess. So yeah, I'm gonna do a show with him on Thursday and hear more about it. But yeah, so congratulations to everyone. Underdog with a great $1 million contest. Excited. What do you think we can get next year, Jay? You think we can get 1.5 up top?
I don't see why not.
Yeah. Or we smooth out the payout structure. Maybe we get like 500,000 a second.
I'm so just for the top heavy, but
yeah, because you're
I'm not in it for yeah. Yeah, exactly. I want to do like 3.5. They're doing have you done any playoff best ball?
Yeah, I've been doing a few of them. And now that the playoff picture's kind of firmed up, the initial mitten, the $5 one already filled. The gauntlet, the big $25 one, still has plenty of space, but I think the people are clamoring for another $5 one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy, have you still been ripping best ball drafts, or has NFT summer distracted you from the cause?
I've probably been doing like 15 or so underdog drafts a week, 10 to 15.
He's really scaled it back.
I
Any of the
Between
playoff
coding,
ones, or
yeah.
just the weekly? ones?
No, I'd mostly just been doing like the weekly. I'll probably try to. Are there still playoff ones up? I'll probably do a couple.
Yeah. They have the big
just
25. How much goes to first in the gauntlet, Jack?
200K.
Yeah, 200K.
Yeah, just like felt like it was better to wait and try to do them later, just so I have more structure. It's like either I can like take the bets on who is going to make it and hope that people are drafting poorly, or wait and wait.
Speaking of that, Pete, when was Liam's team donated? Sorry, I saw a new member drafted. Do we know? Because my theory, we all assumed that the early draft teams were gonna have the best chance to win it all. But Andy, to your point, like I drafted Lamar in one of these playoff best balls. Like literally, that team is as dead as it could be already.
Oh,
Yeah,
June 16th. Willis says
that's pretty early. Yeah.
And it does go to show, I think a lot of people had this take in the offseason too, that kind of barbell, like either draft it really early when you can build super teams, or really late when you have as much information as possible. The problem is you hit mid and late July, and do you know how hard it is to stop drafting once you've like blasted off like 100 drafts and you're just going to go cold turkey? Best ball celibate. I mean, I can't do it. All right. Mike, are Bored Apes racist? Just
I have to be honest. I did not partake in this debate at all. So tell me about both sides here. What is the racist? Yes, racist. What is the no?
I
not?
honestly brought it up as a joke. I don't want to. They were just two guys that were engagement farming and like.
It's the Funks team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went after. I mean, Andy, do you have a nuanced take on this? Other than I just really think they're engagement farming.
Yeah. I'm. You guys know I'm not an Apes guy. I don't believe they're racist. But Andy, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, like it's one of those things where when you look at all of the different pieces of particular like evidence that they were using, like there was some stuff where you're like, where did this come from? Why does it look like this Nazi symbol? But at the same time, like the level of outrage that people had, and also like it was, I don't know, like the Twitter Spaces was really unhinged. It was totally insane. And also, I realized you guys could hear that, so I stopped.
No, that was great.
That was an interesting effect. I didn't mind that.
We liked
The
that.
ASMR heads are going crazy right now. Oh, look at that fizz, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Andy, I made a whole bit on my morning shows all year of the people like it when I pour my coffee. I think there's an ASMR level bit there. I'm telling you, man. And should we just do it? Forget the anniversary show. We'll just do an entire show of us like rubbing toothpicks together and shit like that. Here we go.
I've got a shit ton of seltzer water in the fridge. I can get some more.
Andy, this is the new idea. Forget Survivor. ASMR NFTs. I don't know. If anyone has any actual other takes on that, I'm fine. But I didn't want to give them.
I got nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Apes actually flipping punks, Mike? Thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like we discussed on the Spaces.
No, but now it's like a real flippening.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am surprised by it. It's not what I would have guessed, but the market has spoken, and people like the activity. People like the utility. For now, I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out from here. I think it's interesting for the space. Again, not what I would have guessed, but good for the Apes people. And I don't know. I'm surprised. I would say I would not have guessed it would have happened. I think a lot of people posting about it once upon a time probably also wouldn't have guessed it would happen, but now it has, and the takes look good. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's totally crazy. I mean, I don't mean that like from a investment perspective thing, just like did not expect this to happen. That's crazy. Also, it shakes up a lot of, I think, probably people's ideas of what is important. I guess basically people either say this isn't going to last, that's dumb, or people will say this means that like there are way more important things than what is historically valuable. And I think it's a very interesting conversation. I currently own punks and I do not own any apes, so I have a side that I've taken on that. But I also own a ton of other PFP projects. I just think that apes are ridiculously high, and I'd rather own a bunch of different PFP projects because it's more fun. But it's definitely interesting. I don't really know what's going to happen. I think the thing that's been most surprising to me is how mutants have like run up with them. Like that's been totally crazy. I really don't know what to make of it. There seems to just be like unlimited money that wants to own Bored Apes.
Can I give a take or a thought?
Yeah, please.
I was going through my wallet, NFT wallet, and I realized I don't really own any NFTs like of value. A few things that Club NGMI showed me, and I got absolutely rugged on. What I realized was like
Jack,
I have
don't you own two CryptoPunks?
Oh, I own one that I bought in February for like 30 grand. And that was like the blue chip of all blue chips. And then like now I'm just going through these projects. Like I love the Doodles. I'm obsessed with the Clone X's. I don't really like the Cool Cats, but like I almost went to buy a Clone X at 4 ETH. And then I was like, am I really about to spend like almost 20 grand on like this picture? I don't know. I guess like what I'm trying to say is like I'm a huge believer in NFTs, the metaverse. This is the future. The shit Andy's talking about is so interesting to me, like how we can experiment with all these games. Fractional is super exciting to me, gives access to the general public. But like this idea of buying an NFT for like 40 grand, it just like fucking blows my mind for literally a profile picture. And I'm curious if like others, I guess like I just don't have money like that. Like where if I spent 50 grand, I wouldn't like double take it and be like, holy shit, that's so much money. Like I sold all my run it backs during the rake back pump, and like I pulled out 50 grand, which I think was like my initial investment for the most part into Top Shot. And like that's like a lot of money. And to think that I could just like turn that into a singular cool cat that there's 10,000 others of, like, I don't know. I was just having like a very reflective thought of like, I look at my stuff and the only thing I'm holding of value is a punk because, you know, punks are different in my opinion, but I'm curious what everyone else thinks.
I've been going through the same thing. I really want to buy a toad. And I've been staring at them for a while. And when I see it priced in ETH, it literally is just a complete shift. You're like, okay, yeah, I think I could allocate some here. And then you do the USD community. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm not doing that. So, I mean, I get that. I think if you're going to be a second guy, though, you just can never look at the USD. You just have to.
Right.
You just have to
right. Well, that's another thing is I did look. I was going to buy like toads because I'm a true believer in toads based off like Andy and a bunch of the vibes that people have said. And so when it got to like 2.5, I'm like, if this is a true like somewhat of a blue chip where a lot of crypto native people believe in it, it's probably a good time. And now they're at like 4.5. So I'm like, well, only 2 ETH up, but it's like, okay, well, they just went up 8 grand. You want to talk about second guy in it? Like that's what Top Shot was. It was people buying shit for like 8 grand more within 3 days.
Well, the toads are an interesting one when you frame it within the context of punks and apes too, because I think I saw DC Investor had a tweet today about toads. And again, the selling point being they just exist to exist. There's no promises. There's no roadmap. They're just, exclamation point vibes. And then I think Beanie was talking about, but well, now we're in this new era where everyone expects value, airdrops, utility, all of this stuff. And it is one of those things where it's like, I long term, I still think toads and punks and stuff are going to do really well. But it's like, is that the best place to park your money right now when stuff like my little Smol brains are going to drop me Smol cars and stuff, you know?
I know we're in a bull market because I'm getting the urge to like day trade NFTs again. And I haven't had that urge in a while. And when I did, I lost like a ton of money doing it because I'm the worst day trader ever. So yeah, those are just my thoughts.
I think if I could like relate it back, I think that this period of time in NFTs reminds me a lot of DeFi summer. more so than the last NFT bull market did. The last NFT bull market, yeah, it's not last is ridiculous because they chilled out for like 3 months, but like the last time the NFTs went crazy, it wasn't based on like staking your tokens to earn other tokens to do it. Like
Right.
it wasn't some crazy tokenomics thing. It was just like, oh, looks rare. Let's buy these. And like, oh, look at the community of these. And like that still is doing well, but there also is this like a kind of impending promise from most of these projects that there's going to be a token like Milk for Cool Cats and Ape for the Ape tokens and all of that. And like during DeFi summer, ETH was not a very lucrative way to like farm because everyone had Ethereum. So it was always like the most diluted farm, that and stablecoins. And so like I was buying all these random DeFi tokens to like be able to farm better. And I did farm better with those, but I didn't rotate back to Ethereum fast enough. And so I didn't make nearly as much money as I thought I did because all those DeFi tokens tanked like astronomically against Ethereum once kind of that whole party of farming stopped. And so I don't know, it feels very similar in that sense where like there currently are these new shiny objects that are doing this thing, but most of those things, like some of these like more GameFi things will actually make a game that people are willing to burn their tokens to play and like create a somewhat deflationary economy and they'll work, but most of them won't. And then the yields for those will run out and then they're not going to look as shiny and we'll probably go back to either the PFPs that they actually like or Ethereum or whatever. So it feels very similar to a lot of the DeFi farming stuff from 2 years ago.
Can I ask a couple of follow-ups? I think one would be like, what could a coin do to retain its value? Let's say it's not in a play to earn, right? And from my understanding, I don't know if Apes might be building a game, but I don't know necessarily if that's what the coin's going to be used for. But like, give me an example of a non-play to earn where like coin would just hold value. Like we've seen it with, staking opportunities, or we've seen it with voting power, but like, is anyone like keeping $10,000 worth of a coin just to vote on? I don't know.
I still have that much worth of ENS, so I hope so.
His responsibility, the value.
Yeah, like why is ENS's coin price stayed up? That would be a good answer.
So it's based like, I mean, obviously I don't know why everyone is buying or selling, but like at a really high level, I think a lot of it is kind of the idea of what it could be, where it's like, how valuable is it to own ENS, to like own the idea of ENS based on the idea that you probably can monetize that in the future and probably like that DAO can probably make a profit in the future. And so how valuable is it to be an owner of it currently with the potential upside of whatever profit it makes? Kind of the same thing with like Uniswap governance token. Like Uniswap doesn't have the fees turned on like SushiSwap does, but Uniswap's token is still worth way more even though they're not accruing any fees because the idea of what Uniswap token could earn in the future is valuable. So I think there's some examples where you see like Magic, I think, is a pretty solid example where they have a really nice exchange on Arbitrum. It works very nicely. It's a nice UI. And so that's like a world where if that is the native token of that exchange, the NFTs and all the other stuff that comes along with it, like could continue to be valuable because of that. I think like you've seen that with, you said not like gaming stuff, but I think DeFi Kingdoms has done a really good job of that, creating like this game where the tokenomics is the game kind of thing. I don't know. I think that stuff's really interesting, but yeah, I think in general,
what makes
you can make a novel DAO.
What makes a sushi valuable? And that price has gone up and down, right? Is that trading?
So sushi in particular earns fees based on the trading volume of SushiSwap. So theoretically, that should be why it has value, but generally, like that's not really what happens.
Yeah.
But it at least is like some baseline amount of value where, if the sushi token is earning, if for every sushi token you earn 25% annually in fees, like you can derive some value from that pretty quickly of how much this is worth to you.
Yeah. All right. So what's Jewel?
Here we go.
So Jewel is the DeFi Kingdoms token.
Gotcha. And can you buy that on an exchange on Uniswap? Where do you get Jewel?
You have to bridge to Harmony 1. And you can buy it there. It's another EVM chain.
There's a Google Doc for you, Jack, if you're interested.
Why are people so obsessed with it?
Because all the guys in the Discord have been in on it for a while, and I think they bought when it was like at $2 and have been farming it. And now it's worth 20, and and the game is very addicting.
Gotcha.
Have you gone? Are you in the summoning streets yet, Andy, or still just farming?
No, there's this one guy, Gump Skull.
Oh yeah, Pump's in the chat tonight.
He's the man. He has been so. I've been trying to like find the right people to buy so I can start summoning and all that. And I just like he will send me literal like spreadsheets of like the right people to buy at any given time. And then I'll be too busy, and it'll like the entire market will be different. And then I feel bad. I'm like, hey man, I know you sent me all this stuff, but I didn't act on it. Do you have any other ones you recommend? Because I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't really had the time to do that side of it.
Yeah, you just made Gump pass out. Yeah, Mike, have you looked into DeFi Kingdoms?
I haven't. I've been trying to kind of just scale back my 24/7 involvement in like everything DeFi NFTs. It's just like
as he
I know. No, it's so bad. No, I tried to do this in spring of 2021. I was like, this is getting out of control. This is like not sustainable, and like voluntarily didn't mint Bored Apes, voluntarily like missed Cool Cats. Like people were like showing them left and right, like, oh, Cool Cats, it's great. The artist has a cool story, yada yada yada. I was like, okay, this is all hot trash. There's gonna be a million of these projects. And then I was like, all right, that clearly was a good idea to continue paying attention and forget about mental sanity. And I don't know. I just like I can't have my hand in everything. I've tried to like cut back on projects. Anything I owned, just a couple of, I've tried to sell or just like ignore completely. And if I'm missing airdrops or whatever, I miss them. And so be it. I just think it's good to step away sometimes. And like I still feel like I have a hectic schedule, and so I can't keep up. And so DeFi Kingdoms has not made it into the rotation.
I think too, knowing your personality, like you're a deep diver completist type. And so in this like head on a swivel, bouncing around from project to project stuff, like I'm just guessing that's hard for your kind of just personality style with how you like to just go so deep on stuff.
Yeah, I don't like to buy things that I can't actually explain why I'm buying it to myself. And it's really hard to do that with a lot of this stuff. So
I should probably have that problem, but I do not.
Yeah, I feel like Pete, you're like low key an aper for sure.
I think my skill is knowing the right people to tail for a
lot. I'm comfortable with that concept, and like I'll throw a little bit around here and there, but I don't know. And look, it's good to also do things where you can take some cash off the table periodically, so your investment gets smaller, and then let the rest of it ride and do that sort of thing. But like, it's pretty involved. It's hard to keep. Okay, I don't know how many Discords I'm in. I get pinged all the time. Then I just end up muting every single one of them. People come to me and basically say, "Oh, here's a free way to claim this, and like in a week it'll be worth $500." I'm just like, I can't. Like, I'm just like stepping back and not doing it. It's just overwhelming. It's a lot of stuff to deal with, and so I don't know. I'm kind of just trying to figure out: do I want to keep aping into this stuff? The more you ape into, the more like time there is invested in trying to keep up with what you have to be doing. Is now a good time to buy and sell and whatever else? It's just very intensive.
I will give a plug. If you guys are interested in going deeper down the DeFi Kingdoms rabbit hole, and it does go very, very deep, the Club MGMI guys do a special Wednesday night show over on the Club MGMI YouTube channel. If you want to watch them talk about that, you can do so every Wednesday night, as well as their flagship show on Monday nights. Jack, other big news in the NFT space, finally changed the PFP.
New year, new me.
Yeah, what prompted that?
Well, Punk's getting flipped.
Yeah, exactly. Punk's getting flipped, no longer the premier NFT. Just a little bit of time before Knights flip Punks, of course, so get your Knights. No, I was just vibing with my Knights. I got verified on Twitter. That was exciting. And it got carried into the new year. And so, I like my Robo guy. He's cute. I put away Happy Jack for a little, and now we're just rolling with the robot. The robot breaks a lot of news. If you've been missing my sources recently, I broke 2 stories before Woj and Sham since I got the blue check. So it's just a new personality I'm trying out in 2022. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
There you go. Is the Knights community, did it send shockwaves through the community when you made the change?
They were very excited about it. Tony asked, "Is the laser going in or out of the eyes?" Or mouth. I think I don't know. It's actually, if you look at it, it's very yeah.
That's got to be going out.
Well, you would think that, but if you look at it the other way, it looks like some laser penis going straight into the mouth. But
it looks like something I'd use on a thumbnail, for the arrow, to really
exactly.
Yeah.
So it definitely could be going in if you look at it that way. But obviously, Mike, we assume it's going out.
I'm trying to use the little pattern of the smaller pieces around the beam to determine if we can figure out if it's going in or out.
I'll have to talk to my sources.
Don't we know the artist? Isn't it Blake?
We're on to Kareem Hunt.
Go to the source.
Yeah, Jack, you're missing. Clay's at a Knights of Degen retreat, and you're just retired in Florida. What the hell?
I know. Yeah, because these schmucks were like, all right, we're going to do a retreat. And so I get on my flight, and by the time I land, they're like, all right, here's the date. Oh, Jack's out of town. Whatever. Screw him. You know what? It is what it is. They'll figure out the token and the what else are we doing? The token and we're doing something else. Yeah, some alpha beta katas, something like that.
All right, sounds good. We will keep tabs.
Oh, we're doing it. Oh, we are. If you do want to degen and you are into Knights, we're doing what we're calling a remint. It's really just like a pack break of Knights where you can buy in. You're guaranteed to get a Knight. I think 6 of them are floor Knights, 2 are like mid-price Knights, and then 1 is worth 1 ETH. So
nice.
If you're into the online casino, like Andy claims all of you are, then you can do that. That's on Star.
When are you guys doing that?
This Thursday. Nice. So 2 days.
There you go. And where is that going to be, on the Knights of Degen YouTube?
It's going to be via StarStock site, and you can buy your spots on OpenSea because we're fully on chain. That's just what we fucking do. We're a bunch of coders on chain all the time.
Coders on chain. The lady doth protest too much. Nice. And so so how many spots are available?
I think 10, I believe. I'm hosting the thing, so stay tuned. Maybe I show up in an outfit like the good old days. And Thursday night will be fun. Mike, are you rich, by the way, right now? RJ Barrett's like going for a career high. I might finally get you some exit liquidity out of all your RJ moments.
I'm not looking to sell my RJ moments, but RJ's going nuts right now. I'm actually watching it right here.
Me too.
Wow. Look at that.
No, I'm not selling my RJs. Get out of town. Jack, I did not know you weren't verified, actually. When I saw, I didn't even notice it was out of the ordinary that you had a check. I thought you've always been verified. Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's exciting. What was the process like? Did you have to apply? What did you do?
Yeah, I applied. I got denied. Then they wouldn't even let me apply, which was quite astonishing. And then I had a guy hit a guy, and all of a sudden I woke up. You get followed by Twitter verified. That's how you would know. So I saw that, and then I went to check, and I had the little blue guy. So
nice.
I didn't want to say this, Jack, but you have changed ever since you got that check mark.
I know I have. I'm no longer happy, and I break stories now. I have sources. I don't know if you guys saw, I broke the Kyrie Irving story, broke the Denzel Valentine story. So if you guys have sources, let me know. I can break stories for you. I'm trying to figure out what the Washington football team name is going to be. That would be a good break.
Yeah.
But really what happened was Abe and I, my co-host of the podcast, formulated my first verified tweet together live on the pod. And we figured out, we were trying to work through what tweet could we come up with, sources say. And so I looked at the schedule, and Brooklyn's first road game was at Indiana tomorrow night. This was like last week. So sources say Brooklyn Nets star point guard will make his return, use all the buzzwords. And it hit 4 days before Shams had it. So got hot there. Then we just a little reply tweet that Valentine would be waived. So now what I'm trying to do is just get one more correct. And then from there, you can essentially tweet anything on your fourth try if you're 3 for 3. And then you just have people leak the tweet into like subreddits. Like, let's say if I wanted to do the Ben Simmons tweet, I could be like, sources tell me Ben Simmons is headed to Portland for Damian Lillard. I get someone to leak that, be like, this guy had he had the Kyrie news 4 days early. And so that's the master plan. So if anyone does have any,
just to troll Reddit, that's the long-term goal here.
No, but then the Reddit gets the tweet going. Then you're rolling on NBA Twitter. There's a whole master plan behind this. Once again, for the content.
I like how you're basically what you just described is I just got verified on Twitter, and I'm going to use this new great power to become a snake oil salesman reporter. Is basically your goal.
Because Abe and I joke all the time on the podcast. We hate the big media. We hate them. It's all hot takes. And they all use these buzzwords like sources tell me or hearing rumblings or like all these different, and like they don't know shit. And there's no punishment for any of them when they're completely off base or wrong. There's like 4 legit people. So if you want me to leak that Jewel's going to $100, then maybe I will. It depends.
Pack your bags first, Jack. We got to get you over the bridge. Andy, are you ever going to join the Blue Check Brigade? Sell your soul for some clout?
I also cannot apply for it, but I don't have a guy who can hit a guy to get me Blue Check. So who knows?
Stay
maybe
strong.
one day. Yeah.
Mike, don't do it. I know there's going to come a time when that top shot influencer status can be cashed in. Stay strong, buddy.
I think it's cooler to not have the check now, isn't it?
Amen, brother.
To have a lot of followers but without the check, isn't that the move?
Yeah, they're all. The check. It's all the Darren Rovels and Jack Sullivans of the world. Stay gritty. Yeah.
Oh, we did actually. We were between 2 tweets. We wanted to do the Kyrie one, or we wanted to. It was right before the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Like, do the calculation on how much mayonnaise would be poured on the head coach. We wanted to get that out before Rovell, but we opted for the Kyrie.
What do you think?
Good move.
What do you think Ja Rule's answer would be if you asked him how much mayonnaise was going to be poured?
We need him back on. He's too good.
That actually reminds me. That's a good segue. So 2 weeks from tonight is roughly the exact 1 year anniversary of. That's such a dumb sentence. It's exactly roughly the 1 year anniversary of the Club Top Shot forming as a show. So we are going to put together a very fun show for that night. We're going to have some guests. We're going to have some clips. We're going to have some giveaways. So mark your calendars for Tuesday, January 18th. Maybe, just maybe we can get Ja Rule back in the club as well.
Can we get Cuban? Can we get Cuban or what?
Well, we don't even have Jennings anymore.
I know. That's perfect. Just tell Mark, give him the StreamYard link. He'll pop one. He's more reliable than Jennings at this point.
Yeah. I think we'll try to pull out all the stops. I had to have an argument with Jennings in our DM about missing his rec basketball league game. I'm like, why are you making me argue with this? I mean, we've all played rec basketball. You can miss a single game, Peter. This fucking guy, man.
He's dedicated to the game. I'll give him that.
The dude just loves the ball. What can I say?
Loves.
Do you know what Pete also loves? Twitter Spaces. Every time I log into my app, Pete's hanging out in a Twitter space.
He's exclamation vibes.
And GM with a little coffee emoji.
Yes. I did. Deez was very nice to retweet this episode, and I was messaging him, and he's down to come on the show here sometime soon. So maybe we can get a little fractional version of Club Top Shot with Andy.
Well,
and
hopefully Andy's Survivor game is live by January 18th.
Oh, can we have the final vote on during the show? I don't know if that's too much.
Oh, it'd be kind of fun. I could try to make that work. I could try to make it work. I'll
get back to your code.
If you want to do it during Fractional Fridays, we understand.
Like when you're coding, would you actually type in like a date, like 01-18- like 22
Can we
like,
just do
colon
coding 101
0
from the
0?
very start? What do I
And then
open
where
up?
do you
Blank
put, who
screen.
reads this code? How does this Ethereum guy, is it Vitalik, is reading all these codes, making this stuff happen? Like, I just can't even conceptualize how this stuff works. What do you think?
I don't even really know how to begin here, to be honest.
Just answer the question. Do you actually type the date if you were to say
No, you
the
use
final
the
vote?
Unix timestamp.
So okay, that's easy.
Unix is
Copy
like a
paste.
standardized
Yeah.
timestamp thing.
Come on, Andy, give Jack a few little nuggets of coding wisdom here.
All right. So you have to create a new repository is like what you store your code in on GitHub. That's like how teams will manage their code.
Isn't a depository on Pornhub like where you store
Repository.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, you heard
Yeah.
the similarities.
It's
there.
That
a
actually
very
reminds me.
similar point.
Please join the depository kingdom when you get a second. Link down below.
All right,
Keep going.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
From there, depending on the type of code you're writing, obviously it's different. For Solidity, you actually don't need very many like things installed or anything. So for Solidity, you write contracts. So you kind of start everything by like saying like this is a contract, the name of the contract is whatever, and then you can start writing code. A contract can have a constructor, and the constructor is the like function that is called on contract creation. So maybe that's going to provide like some important information that the contract needs to know, like an end date. That could be one of the things in the constructor. And then you basically can make a bunch of different functions, and those functions all manage different. Basically, they'd all just manage state inside the contract. So you can have variables that can be updated by end users, by internal functions, all these different things. And then when people call different functions on a contract, they update those variables. That's kind of like the really fast version of what a Solidity contract does. They're honestly they obviously can get very complex, but at the end of the day, it's function calls to alter the state of saved variables in a contract.
And there's two. So the Ethereum contract is still like the same as like a regular computer, not same contract, but the same software, like Solidity, or isn't there Java is one of them?
Yeah, so Java is a programming language. Good job.
But for Ethereum contracts, would it just be in Solidity?
There's a smart contract language and then like front end languages in the website itself and how it's all presented. It all uses
so Ethereum Solidity is like a high level language on Ethereum. Like the actual low level code on Ethereum is bytecode. And so you like if you wanted to really get into the weeds, you could like kind of everything is compiled down into assembly. There are other programming languages you can use as opposed to Solidity that also compile down into bytecode to deploy onto Ethereum. There's like Viper. There's one called Fe, which is Fe. There's another one. There's a couple of others. There's one called Huff, I think, Huf. But Solidity is by far the most popular.
Got it.
And how
last
different
question,
is it?
I promise.
Oh God.
If another student in the game wants to learn, go
Yeah,
ahead.
another student. I was just curious, how different is it to write, for say Ethereum smart contracts versus like if you're messing around with Polygon? Is there different quirks on those different?
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. So there's when you see, and now we're going to get really into the weeds here. When you see the different types of like EVM chains that pop up, there's a quirk in how people describe them. Some are EVM compatible and others are EVM equivalent. And while that like sounds like relatively the same thing, it actually isn't. So EVM compatible chains basically means you can deploy, like if you have bytecode that runs on Ethereum, you can deploy it onto this other chain. Say like for a while, like some of the rollups were just EVM compatible, not EVM equivalent. You could deploy there, but maybe there'd be like some small quirks, some things that wouldn't function exactly the same. EVM equivalent means that it is exactly the same. All of your tooling and everything will work correctly, just natively. You can deploy stuff. You can expect all the events and transactions and everything to go exactly the same way, just with a different base currency. And so like Polygon and Optimism and Arbitrum, Most of them are EVM equivalent. It gets more challenging. Like, so, for example, the zero knowledge layer twos that are kind of deep under development, like Starkware and those that are going to allow for EVM based contracts. Those are going to be EVM equivalent or EVM compatible, not EVM equivalent. So they will not be as easy to deploy and work with as just like an immediate plug and play with your Ethereum contracts. Yeah.
Jack,
How? Yeah. How? Okay, 2 questions. How much more complex is like a game you're building or ChainFace Arena versus like just a general mint?
It's significantly more complex.
Okay.
I mean, like, so one of the things, like, everyone just copy and pastes code in crypto. Well, like, so like in most things, it's like a meme to be like, oh yeah, just copy and paste it, and it's like a bad thing. In Solidity or like crypto, it's actually a good thing. Like,
because it's been tested and broken, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you want to write as little code as absolutely possible. And so, like, if you want to make a minting contract, you could literally just copy the Bored Apes minting contract and like change a couple variables, change the IPFS.
How does it pull the? Do you upload the pictures somewhere? The different pictures of the traits?
Yeah, so you have to upload those to IPFS manually.
Okay. All right. And then my last question: if I wanted to write a contract for an NFT project, do you think I could do it before 2023?
prop bet, Sizzin.
Yeah,
I feel like you need lots of caveats.
Wow, that's a lot of faith. That's a lot of faith.
I don't think Solidity is that hard. I think so. Like, the complexity of writing like Solidity is more so understanding the complexities of like how cryptocurrency works, because it has a lot of quirks comparatively to traditional programming. I think that if you have a general understanding of how Ethereum works and stuff, to have like a really basic hello world contract where you call a function that does something and then someone else can call a function to update that variable or whatever, it's not that challenging. You could do like a couple hour tutorial and deploy something that would work. Getting to that next step of like writing complex code and stuff obviously is a whole other ballgame. But
how long
the
have you been
basics I don't
coding
think are
for?
very hard. Since like 8th grade.
Oh, got it. Who is there like a famous coder, at least in crypto, that's like they're the best, or like
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Like, is there any, like, does anyone have an idol? Like, do you have an idol coder?
Jack, just ask who's the Tom Brady of Solidity coding.
Sure. Okay. Who's the Thomas Edward Brady III?
I don't really know. There's like a bunch of really, really talented Solidity coders. Definitely not me. There's some people I worked with at MakerDAO who are really, really, really good, who have been doing it for way longer than I have. There's the CTO of Paradigm. His name is Georgios. Is probably one of the best coders I've met. There's a 16-year-old kid named who goes by Transmissions on Twitter, who's legitimately one of like the best coders I've ever met.
16.
Yeah, he's so fucking smart. It's crazy.
Are coders like hackers or two different worlds?
Two different worlds.
Like, would I be picking up two
like
traits here or just one?
No.
Like one skill?
I was getting my master's in cybersecurity before I dropped out.
Really?
But it's super, super different. It's mostly like networks and I don't know, like that kind of stuff is very different.
How much of like what are you in like groups or discords with other coders, like where you guys are sharing resources, ideas, or like how are you improving on what you do?
Mostly through conversations like on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I am not by no means am I the best Solidity coder. I think I have like a pretty good depth of knowledge, and I think I'm like pretty creative. I can think of interesting things and stuff. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty of like the perfect way to optimize this contract to use the least amount of gas and all that stuff, there are people who are way better at that than I am. So a lot of what I'm doing to learn and get better is just like, if someone who I respect releases a new contract who I think is smart, I'm just going to read it, just see what they're doing, learn if they're doing some trick or quirk that I wasn't aware of or didn't know about, and try to learn from them. That's been probably the way I've learned the most, is like reading through all the Uniswap code and MakerDAO code and like all Compound code and all these different projects.
Interesting. Jack, I think we should probably not quit our day jobs as influencers. Or you could be Andy and just be able to do both seamlessly.
Yeah, seriously.
Mike, you going to learn to code? You're muted. You're muted. And you can't hear us.
Hello.
You watching the Knicks game? You need the audio?
No, I was typing before and I didn't want it to be in everyone's ear. Sorry about that. I took a couple coding classes in college. I took R and MATLAB, and Excel, if you get into the depths of it, has like very minor league coding elements. So I have an elementary understanding of how all this works.
Yeah. What's new with Floaty these days?
Building on Flow is kind of a pain in the ass. Andy alluded to it a couple episodes back, and there's.
Do you need me to teach you how to code, Mike? It's not fun.
Yeah, Jack, please come on. No, everything's going all right. We were actually expecting to launch in the middle of December, and then had to go back and make one change to our smart contract, which I can get into more detail on after we launch. But we are hoping to launch at the end of January, if not a little bit sooner than then.
What makes Flow so tricky to build on? Why we're in the weeds?
It's a new development language. There's a lot of lack of standardization. So Andy mentioned before, there's a lot of kind of copy and paste elements to building on Ethereum, which is basically people have done things before, and you can take those components, put them together, and build other interesting things, and maybe add a little twist to it or whatever else. There's very little of that on Flow, and very little standardization across NFTs. And so the way that NFTs can be, and Andy, just jump in when I inevitably say something that's incorrect here, please. The NFTs on Ethereum in general can meet a certain standard. So the ERC 721 NFTs all have a similar sort of structure that enables them to be kind of plugged into platforms like OpenSea, for example, whereas NFTs on Flow lack a lot of the same standardization. And so there's complications in terms of onboarding them and understanding how their metadata works. And then the language itself, Cadence, is new. It's specific to the Flow blockchain. So there are very few developers who have a deep understanding of that. And there's a much smaller community of people who are working on things and can help out and work on things together. So a lot of it's kind of being figured out on the fly right now. And then for our platform's purposes, there are legal and regulatory elements for us to consider in terms of how much information we need from our users, if anything, what sort of disclosures we need. And so there's a lot of things to work through along those lines. And so that all takes longer than anyone would hope or dream, and is expensive and is a pain in the butt, but we're getting there.
Has that been similar to your experience, Andy?
Yeah, there's been a lot of like little quirks. There's been a couple times where like our developers working on it has like discovered and helped fix bugs.
There's a lot of that. Yeah,
which is it happens. Like, I mean, it reminds me of trying to build shit on Ethereum 4 years ago. There's just like a lot of quirks that come with all of that. But yeah, it's definitely been slower than we hoped. But it'll all happen eventually.
That's still hoping to have Top Shot fractionalization at some point. Oh
yeah, for sure. I think it's probably moved down a little bit on our totem pole of things, just based on how hard it's been to finalize the integration, but still actively working on it.
Nice. Jack, you gonna fractionalize your night or your LeBron moment?
The LeBron moment potentially, although that could disrupt. I don't know. That would be an interesting case study. One thing that I think is interesting, more than like, for example, like the CAA Bored Ape, right, or something along those lines, is like if I fractionalize my punk, right, or someone interesting fractionalize their punk, and you build a community around owning, because a lot of people want to, or a Bored Ape, whatever, these unattainable kind of things. As we saw, like people wanted to own these big LeBron moments early on in Top Shot, but then you like somehow built a community around it, and any secondary sales went into like some community purse to throw events, or I don't know what it was, but you almost created an NFT out of a fractionalized NFT. That would be really interesting to me. That's kind of like what the missing leg of like that zombie punk we all bought, Andy.
Yeah.
Like like in the moment it was awesome, but then obviously it just became like people just traded in and then it got sold. But we marketed it all together, and that's like the power of owning, one big thing. Constitution DAO. We haven't seen anything like we've seen the crowdfunding almost and raising the money, but we haven't seen like a leader turn it into an actual asset. I don't know. That's interesting to me in terms of fractionalization.
Have you had, Andy? I admit I haven't been in the fractional Discord of late, but I know you guys have created some like sub communities for some of the NFT fractional communities. Have you had some success with that or interest in that?
Yeah, there's definitely been interest. I think we need to like kind of give them more tooling. And a lot of that kind of is just like contingent on us having version 2 seems way better for that, because you'll be able to actually do stuff with the NFTs, even very, very small things like claim airdrops and all of that if you want to be able to do it. And kind of the token holders for that NFT will be able to opt in to what it is they want to be able to do. So they can be like, oh yeah, we want with these tokens, we'll be able to claim NFTs and do X, Y, and Z. And so I think that'll make that experience a lot better of kind of creating like a slightly more interactive community that's still not like, crazy high lift where you have to be super active or anything. But yeah, there's definitely been demand there. Just trying to figure out how far in like the social side of it we want to go versus partnering and working with other people who are doing that stuff.
Yeah. We also need I was got rugged. There's someone on Twitter that is using Pete's punk as his avatar on Twitter. And I see it pop up, and I'm always like, "Is that you?" He straight up right click save as Pete's punk. Nothing he can do about it, man. I think that to me is more interesting. Talking about the Twitter blue checks, I do think the Twitter NFT profile pic verification like that. I think that's would be pretty cool.
Did you guys see the update on that today from the Twitter dude?
No. What did he say?
He was saying, he's like, I keep getting people ask me when this is coming. He's like, I know we mentioned it a while ago and we haven't had too many updates. He's like, it's actually on my phone right now. I'm testing it. And so that was a little mini update, but it was just interesting.
That a while ago, I thought.
Did he? I thought maybe he posted something new. I don't know. Maybe I saw an old tweet, but I thought it was today or yesterday.
No, you might have, but I thought he had posted.
Oh, in Jack breaking news settlement world. That's a long time ago, huh?
I literally just opened up Twitter and it was the top tweet in my feed. So people keep asking me, yes, we're still working on NFT profile verification. No, I don't have any timing updates, but I'm currently testing it on my phone. There you go.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying this tweet is old. I'm saying I thought he shared the video of it in beta like a while ago on someone else's phone, maybe.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember that. I don't know what's going on.
Is that a doodle?
I'm wondering what it is. This is a doodle? Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah. It looks rare.
Yeah, some of the doodles are shaped. Like there's a balloon doodle I saw today. That's not a person. The doodles are sick.
Dude, isn't the doodle floor like 9 ETH now?
Yeah. It's hot. You know what else looks cool? I don't know anything about it, but it definitely looks cool. Are the invisible friends, and I think that's gonna go absolutely. Those look cool. Yeah,
Ronnie, I agree. Ronnie, the founder of Kith, replied and said he wanted to collab with them for it.
Oh, yeah, man, it looks awesome.
Have those dropped yet?
I don't think so.
No, Jan 18, I believe. Which will be the survival.
Oh, we're going to be busy. We're going to be busy.
No, I might have made that up, but I do think that's the date. Don't quote me on it. Sources are telling me, but I don't want to be. I would buy one of those.
Can I pump the Club Top Shot sweatshirt a little bit? This is very, very comfortable. Whoever's considering really nice. This, if you want to just like cuddle up on your couch with it, here we go.
You know what I like about it? Actually, maybe some people say this is bad. It's thin. I don't have many thin material sweatshirts.
I agree. Yeah. It's really, really comfortable. It's soft. I got one for the wife. She likes it a lot.
Are you a blanket guy? Do you like being under a blanket?
No, like when I'm on a couch. I don't know. We have one of those throw blankets, but the wife takes it.
I'm in a blanket family. Like we're always under blankets, so that's where I like the light sweatshirts. I wasn't sure if that's part of why Andy liked them too.
Yeah, I legitimately the feedback I get from the hoodies from the store is all very good. So yes, we have the Club Top Shot hoodies in the store. It's also Cash Game Week, so we do have some Please Scoop Me Bro and Cash Game King merch in there as well.
Yeah, what do you do for week 18? What was your thing?
So I hand in my GPP Bro card. I don't play any tournaments, and I exclusively play cash games, and people can send me. It's just the best game, best week for cash games. You know, there's just too much kind of variance for tournaments in week 18, and I just like to play the best.
Wouldn't that make it the best? Wouldn't that?
That's the bit. Yeah,
I got it. Okay. I only play on Underdog Fantasy. Use code Jack. But if I were to play against you, what site would you be
Set me a head-to-head on DraftKings, Jack.
And is your username actually like Verzo Eat P?
Yeah, it's an anagram of my name that I hate that it's my username, but it is what it is.
You can't change that.
I am up to, as of right now, $827 in head-to-head invites. So keep.
Is that a lot for you?
I don't ever play cash except week 18. I think last year I ended up with like 3,000 in head-to-head invites. And now everyone wants Jack to send them a head.
They can have my action. You know what? Take my fucking action. Send me. I have a DraftKings. I am in first place of a DraftKings league. 12 people, gonna win $4,000 from it. I've won 7 of the 17 weeks. So
how have you not posted it? I haven't seen a single DFS screenshot from you, Jack.
Because I am an exclusive Underdog influencer.
Wow.
But if you want that action, we can talk. Find the DMs.
All right, we will slide into it. This is actually a good bit for the DFS grinders. This username Vacone19 is infamous for years of just spraying head-to-head invites. Like you would open up your app and you'd have like a head-to-head NASCAR invite, and it was always from this fucker Vacone19. And it resonated with people because sometimes DraftKings would do like drop your username in the replies to this tweet and, you'll win a ticket or whatever. And I would always reply with his username, and I would get these replies. You're the asshole that won't stop sending me head-to-heads on DraftKings. So yes, Vacone is an absolute legend.
Fran wants to bet me a night in a head-to-head match.
Ooh, there you go.
Wow, Fran.
Yeah, I'll accept that offer. I'm down for that.
You've actually, Jack, you've done a decent bit of gambling on Top Shot moments on NBA games.
I have.
I enjoy that. I sweat with you on those. They're fun.
Yeah. And I've actually done decently well. I lost, a decent amount on the Knicks, Hawks, and then the Hawks Sixers, but I made most of it back.
Yeah.
FanDuel only? Yeah, what's the FanDuel DK thing? FanDuel's for noobs, DK is for like sharps like me.
FanDuel's just different. You do strike me as more of a FanDuel guy, honestly. Jack.
I was a little
softer over there.
I was a FanDuel guy.
I actually
shipped I'll never forget. I shipped a tournament on FanDuel once, $1 to win $350. Had a Big Ben. Yeah, I will claim I got Big Ben AB stack. And then my other big win, I won $375, finished third place in a baseball contest. I'll never forget. AJ Pollock, that's my guy. He hit 3 home runs. Fucking Buster Posey needed a pop fly, sack fly. I would have shipped the whole thing. He ground into a double play. Not only do I not win, he drops me. So I don't like Buster Posey for that reason.
There you go.
I'm a Yahoo guy.
I'm a Yahoo guy. My fantasy baseball league's on Yahoo for like.
Of course you are, Mike.
17 years.
You seem like a Yahoo guy.
I've been playing fantasy baseball since before you were born, Jack.
Oh, Andy, I wanted to ask you, what was the huge NFT buy that Deez made the other day that I saw?
Oh yeah, he won an auction for an X copy. Pretty sweet.
He said it was his biggest NFT
it was like
buy.
250 ETH.
Holy shit! And so he won an auction that gave him the right to purchase it?
No, it's just an auction.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a raffle.
Some guy put it up on Super Rare with a reserve price of $1.
Okay, so it was going.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's a pretty good deal. Like, I mean, good deal. He just bought an NFT for $1 million. Like, who the hell knows? But I bet if he listed it right now for 300, he could probably sell it.
It is pretty sick. Even has that has our Club Top Shot colors in there too, our little Miami Vice colors. Do you think he's going to fractionalize it?
I don't think so. I think it's his only one of one X copy. I think he just wants it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Do you think it was interesting too? Because I think we asked Pete about this before because he had bought some 101 arts. Do you think that how do you think about those in context of kind of the bigger 10,000 profile picks, all this now gaming type stuff? Like, where do you think 101s fit into the overall like market ecosystem?
I don't really know, honestly. Yep. I think that they'll eventually have their place, and like some of them will obviously do really, really, really well. But it's like it's a market to me that it's so foreign to me that I just kind of ignore it because I just don't have enough depth of knowledge there to be able to do anything.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as that. I think it's really hard to actually know that market well. It's hard to find realistically a lot of the value calculation and trying to figure out markets is looking at similar or comparable products, and just by definition, a one of one doesn't have too many comps except for that other artist's handful of one of ones. It's just not that many data points, so it's hard to know the market. And I think you lose a lot of the community aspect there, where people like the 10,000 profile picture projects. There's a bunch of other people, thousands of other people who are on that same boat with you. You get the kind of, one team, one dream aspect of it, which the one of one art I think is interesting from an art standpoint, but it has a different sort of appeal to it.
I'm an art connoisseur. I own that skull from Top Shot All-Star.
I remember your skull, yeah.
That might be an artifact one day. I mean, it's got like the skull look, and Top Shot, when it's officially dead, we'll never forget the death of it on All-Star Weekend. So maybe I can sell it for like a Derrick Rose from the top moment for $1 million.
That's how you're spinning.
Carlini.
Yeah, it's a Carlini.
How about that? I don't know if this show doesn't feel like a pack opening show. What if we gave Peter Jennings just massive FOMO for missing, and we close with a round of Lodden Thinks?
Ooh.
Great.
Let's do it.
You see my brother's comment?
No. So are you just in your house with like all of your extended family? Have you been for the past few weeks?
Just my family and my girlfriend.
Do they watch when you're on the club or no?
Casey's watching. Casey saw Pete in Miami this weekend.
And didn't come say hi. He was starstruck. And Casey, I was with Laird too. You could have come and said hi to
Pete
Laird.
doesn't even have a blue check, Casey. You can approach him in public spaces.
Jack, we haven't even talked about the fact that I hung out with Alex extensively in Buffalo.
Yes.
We spent a whole Sunday together. It was great.
Yeah, I heard. How were the wings? Scale of 1 to 10.
Wings were great. Wings. I mean, I would go as high as like an 8 or a 9. I mean, they hit the spot really well. They had a nice crispiness to them that is lacking in New York wings. They were like a nice crispy, a nice level of spice. It was great.
Are you ranch or blue cheese?
Blue cheese.
Is that a Buffalo thing? Yeah, it's ranch
what?
Is so much.
Pete, don't tell me you're ranch also. If I'm the only blue cheese person, I might be.
No, I'm blue cheese
stage.
over. I mean,
great,
ranch.
fantastic.
I left ranch, behind after I graduated from middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just actually don't like blue cheese in general.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. I guess we're just going to end the stream now because we can't.
Yeah, it might be over.
What's our Lodden Thinks?
Okay, so let's do one round so everyone gets a question asked to them. What do you want to play? You want to play $100 pop?
Sure.
Fun.
Okay.
One ETH?
What ETH? All right. Does anyone have a question
One
they want
jewel?
to throw to what?
1 jewel per round?
Well, that's Pub's question. He wants us to go to Lodden.
No.
What does anything
Don't
jewel
let them
price
pump.
be?
Don't let them pump.
Yeah,
There's
no way to win that one.
All right. My question would be, all right, who am I asking to?
You can pick anyone.
All right.
We're each going to get
Mike,
one.
how many How? All right, I don't have a question yet. Someone else go.
All right. Let's think.
I have one.
All right.
I'll ask Pete.
Okay.
How many people got COVID at a New Year's Eve party this year?
Wow. In the United States or worldwide?
Yeah, let's go in the United States.
Okay.
United States tested positive or
No, just got COVID.
Just
Yeah.
got it. Yep. This is a fun, sobering.
How sobering do you think, roughly?
Well,
How sobering?
I mean, I just had to do my first masked gym workout tonight, and I was dying.
Melania
hasn't gone back
Trump's
yet,
NFT
thankfully.
is disgusted by that.
All right.
All right. How many how many people in America or Americans?
People in America.
Okay.
On New Year's Eve exclusively?
Not just on New Year's Eve, at a New Year's Eve party.
Okay, at a New Year's Eve.
I mean, everyone already had COVID going into New Year's Eve, so it's different.
Yeah. Don't
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no.
I gotta go down. Fuck me.
Yeah, I agree.
This is insulting, Jay Price. This is absolutely insulting. You don't think I know that there's 7 billion people in the United States of America? Jesus.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
I'm ready.
I have my guess written down.
All right.
All right, so let's go around the horn.
1,069,000.
Oof,
That's
a
too
lot,
many?
I think I said 250,000.
I said 875,000. I would have gone higher personally. But I was going to go higher.
I'm way lower.
I'm way lower. 36,420.
What?
I agree.
Yeah.
At
Too
New
many people
Year's
had it,
Eve
yeah.
parties? That's
I actually
so
think your
much.
guess
What's
is
the
pretty
most positive tests in a day in New York or in the United States?
That's a good question. COVID positive tests. But remember, we didn't say just test.
Yeah, but it still is like a.
Yeah. That'll give us at least.
Well, we're
a
averaging
baseline.
550,000 a day. So
Yeah,
we might have
like-
undershot that.
And then New Year's Eve is concentrated people.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with my guess.
I was originally
Not
gonna
from a money
and then I went
standpoint.
down.
Okay, 41,000 was on March 7th, 2021.
Yeah, but things are different now because of Omicron. We're averaging
Right.
like way more.
But still,
I think my guess is pretty good. I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
I think my guess is pretty good. All right.
All right. So Andy W.
I have a question for MBL.
All right. Jack loses his chance to ask me a question.
In his entire life, how many hot dogs that contain the condiment relish on top of it has Beeple eaten? I'll repeat the question. Throughout Beeple's entire life, how many times has he eaten a hot dog that has relish on it?
You're setting me up again with these meat questions, Pete.
Oh, please. Please don't ask what people's ethnicity is, as if this is going to impact your answer here.
So, people. He's definitely a relish guy. I mean, let's just get out ahead of that for sure. Okay.
The thing about this one is like,
how old is Beeple? Does Mike know?
How old is he?
I'm providing no information on my knowledge of Beeple or his hot dog preference.
I think he's like mid 40s. Would just be my guess.
Oh, Mike is. He's such a deep thinker with these things that it just. Okay. Beeple 40s. Okay. All right. With relish. All right.
Oh fuck! This is where this is the trap of Lodden Thinks, because I go to write down the answer that I think, and I say no. We need to get into the mind of this fucker.
I got mine. Mike, do you have yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I have my guess for Mike down. Andy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. I said that Mike guessed 89 Relish hot dogs.
My original was 92.
Ooh.
Well, but I actually, my original was this number. Then I went 92. Then I went back to this because I think he's had 92 hot dogs in Mike's head. But is Mike going to say every hot dog has relish on it? So I landed on 47.
Yeah.
So I went very low.
Yeah.
10.
10.
All right, so we're all have room here. Michael.
Jack's thought process was sound.
Thank you.
My answer was 34.
Wow.
With the rationale being he probably has one with relish per year. He's probably somewhere in his 40s. In his early first few years, he probably didn't have hot dogs, and he's probably missed a couple of years along the way doing too much digital art.
Same.
I also like in Mike's head, it's like once a year he sits down for his hot dog.
Yes.
Never.
July 4th. It's on July 4th.
Right. He never in his life had two in a year, but
No chance. Yeah.
I think probably the real answer is like less than 10 or like over 100. Like if he likes relish, this dude's fucking housing.
No.
I don't know. What's like your answer? I enjoy relish, but I have no
I'll-
more than one per year. I don't think.
I'll argue back here. I think the relish is an interesting variable because it's not always available.
Yeah, that's why I did such a low number.
And even if you like it, I like relish. You're still not always going to have it. So I think
it's a little bit messy sometimes too because it's more liquid.
We're saying one a year, Mike, but every one has relish. Is actually like a pretty poor thought process.
No. I'm saying he has one hot dog per year with relish. I'd imagine he has a few more than one per year, but only one of them has relish on it. Yeah.
Okay. Same. That's how I got to 92. Then I said not all have relish. Mike, we're on the same page.
That's what I said. Yeah, I like the thought process.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone asks people this question on Twitter, and then maybe he'll have this like gigantic new post of like Melania Trump.
What about
carrying
his piece of the day? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who hasn't asked a question yet?
Jack hasn't, and I have not.
Okay. So I need to ask Pete a question, right?
I've
and
already been
then I
asked.
can ask
I don't
Andy
think
one.
Andy's been asked.
Oh, Andy has. All right. So I'll ask Andy a question, and one of you ask me. I'm still working on mine. Let me find it.
All right. So I gotta ask Jack a question. Okay. Think. All right. On topic, because he's not here tonight. Jack, how many rounds of golf did Peter Jennings play in 2021?
Wow. Ashley is logged into the chat.
See, Mike, where you become a Lodden Thinks professional is like how many times did Jennings swing the club in 2021? That's where it gets even more intriguing.
All right, well, so just multiply my question by. Well, I guess. Practice rounds. Also, practice rounds. Oh, okay, fine. Can we just adopt that question? That's a more fun question. I agree.
It is. Okay. It is. All right,
let's just do that. How much? And
mini golf count?
Yes, including putts, swings.
Okay.
Yes, and Oculus golf, regular golf. Wii golf.
What about a lot of golfers I know just like stand in rooms and like fake swing the club?
Yeah. Jennings probably does that on all his conference calls. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is doing that all the time.
Okay, but we're counting those to be clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, all right. Peter Jennings, sick in the head, 4 handicap.
This one, I have a feeling our guests are going to be all over the map here.
had a number that I felt made sense, and then was like, nah, it doesn't. And I just changed to a random number out of my head.
Jeez.
Okay. I have an answer written down.
Okay, I have my number.
This is actually a good question. I don't think he does. I'm pretty sure he does all of his out in God's nature. I would love to get Ashley's answer on this one.
You know what? I feel like I should bring this up before we reveal. Or maybe I shouldn't, actually.
I've got my numbers.
All right. Do we want to be locked in? Because okay. I guess it's part of the game. It's just my dumb brain. I didn't count all the practice swings he actually takes before hitting the ball.
Oh, that I have a line item for that. Should I scratch it?
No, I kind of did.
I just admit, Jack, I did the same thing. In my head, it was when he strikes a ball. So I was including like at the range, but I was not including like a non.
Like he probably takes two. Yeah.
Okay, so
takes it.
All right.
No, we're locked.
Can I
in.
update my number then?
No, we can't update numbers now, can we?
Andy, I don't think it's going to change.
I accounted for 15 swings per hole.
Well, that's probably right for practice.
Yeah, that's what I did also. That's what I have also.
Okay,
Andy. Same exact thing.
I did contact only.
Listen, guys, this is part of the game.
I think
you
I'm
got to
ready.
be in Jack's brain. This is the downside to playing. But that's a great point.
I basically assumed any 2 practice swings per actual hit.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so your
So
guys
that translates to the same thing. Very good.
So yours is probably going to be like 3 times it. So, Jack.
No, not necessarily. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll go first. I'm ready.
All right. Go.
I have 86,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
30,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But Mike and Andy had the same thought process, and they're vastly different.
15,987.
Wow.
Contact.
Pete is in my brain. Mine was 13,621. How I got there now. I estimated he played 50 rounds of golf, averaging
I estimated
100.
200.
I assumed 100.
200,
I assumed 100 rounds of golf.
I did 100 rounds of golf.
Yeah.
Really? He plays.
I think he played
3 times a week,
multiple times.
This guy's sick. I'm telling you, man.
I said
retired.
50 rounds with 150 swings between range and his actual shots, but I left out the practice. Then I just gave him 10 swings a day, and then I said he hit probably 20 range days, which were like 100 swings, and then I just added some random swings.
I think okay. We just had different inputs. I did.
We need to ask Pete. We need to ask Pete.
Of course, I assumed 100 rounds, 75 like actual ball strikes per round, 150 practice swings per round, 50 times at the range, assuming 50 swings per range, because most of them were like in advance of a round, so it's not like a full range session. And then I just tacked on another 5,000 for conference call swings.
Right. Wait, so Mike, how many swings do you think like a professional golfer takes in a year? Like you must think
like 31,000 maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no, Andy. Yeah, Andy. What do you think a pro golfer on the tour would take in a year, based off your estimate?
Some totally insane number. Probably over 1 million swings a year.
1 million swings?
Yeah,
that's insane. I don't think I've done 1 million things in my life. Something 1 million times.
I'm the only one who hasn't won yet. This is such horseshit. I got to win the last one.
All right, who hasn't?
Jack's got to ask Andy.
Okay,
I do have to ask Andy. All right, Andy.
Make it good.
Andy.
We need it good.
Okay. Okay. All right. How many hours do you think it would take you to teach Melania to code the code for her NFT?
Or for Andy's Survivor game, better yet.
That's a funner answer. And Jack, add some qualifiers for it, because like he was saying, there is this like copy and paste element to that stuff.
But
like,
he has to teach Melania Trump, so we're gonna see where he thinks she
So like
is.
my hands cannot touch the keyboard, right?
Correct.
That
correct.
does sound pretty hot, though. Just imagining you.
So you
Wait, and Jack, from scratch, or you can copy pasta?
You can copy pasta, but he still has to navigate her to where she would locate the code to even copy paste, has to teach her to download Solidity and mint the contract. And
Wait, sorry, you said there is copy pasting though?
there is copy pasting. But this is not to teach her how to code. This is to teach her how to write the code that ended up as her current NFT project.
Does this include deploying the code?
Yes.
Okay.
How many hours? We're doing this in hours.
I feel like Andy's getting a headache just thinking about having to teach Melania Trump how to code.
There's a language barrier too.
Oh, God, Mike.
By the way, full press in the comments. There's only 525,000 minutes in a year. That's mind-boggling to me. So taking a million swings would be one every 30 seconds.
Including while sleeping.
Right.
Okay, maybe not then.
All right. How many hours?
Yeah, Fran and I are seeing eye to eye on that.
All right. Let's not get canceled tonight, fellas.
I have no idea what the right number is.
I know.
But you have to come up with a thought process.
I have a number.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I have my guess.
Hold on. Don't.
I
hate my guess. I hate it.
I kind of like mine.
Okay.
Oh God, Josh Peterson just jumping in.
All right, I got mine.
Okay. All right, I'll start. Are you good, Mike?
Yes, I'm not good. I'm done.
All right. I said it would take Andy 12,069. Sorry, 1,200. I meant to say 1,269. I didn't mean to say 1269. 1269.
I like how you're correcting your mistake as if like the first one is a totally off base guess for this question.
I mean, I was doing. I had math to how I got there, so that I'll explain.
Okay.
Can you explain your math?
I was saying 8 hours a day for 5 months.
Okay, I'm 24 hours for half a year. Obviously not no sleep, but 36.52, and I don't even know if that math.
All right, nice. I'm happy with my number because I think it's going to be somewhere in between those, and I'm a little bit above. Peaked at 1,499.
I think I'm way over.
I think Andy's going to say 2,000.
You guys are going to be shocked. I said 120.
No way.
Does that mean I win?
I think it'll be like 3 weeks full time.
Okay, I will be at your apartment in Brooklyn when I get back from Florida, and we will learn how to code.
Well, so basically,
I will code the Survivor contract.
So 1 week of like, how does Solidity work? And I would just like talk to her about all that. 1 week of I would essentially be like dictating to her the code for the contract, and then 1 week to deploy the contract.
Either she's an incredibly quick learner or you are an incredible teacher.
I mean, to Mackin's point, like I guess a third of 10,000 hours, which if you could be a master coder in 10,000 hours, maybe our guesses were high.
Wow. This is I just wish I want that. People are already saying they want a reality show where Andy teaches Jack.
You know who doesn't want that? Me.
All right.
That reality show.
New bonus question, not for the game. How much would you have to be paid to do that 120 hours of work?
Ooh.
Oh man.
You can price
I
it
don't
in
know.
NFTs.
Andy's a smart man. The quality of shit posting he would gain from probably that experiment.
Jack,
would be high.
you could write a book about that experience.
Yeah. But Andy doesn't write books. He writes shit tweets. That's
You could
that's
write
what he
4 or 5 tweets about that experience.
does.
Oh my god. All right. I mean, I'm up, so I mean, I'm happy to keep playing. Or if if Mike needs to get up,
I'm down. You're
Yeah, I
up.
think I'm
Jack
dead
and
even.
Andy are square.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
What do you want, Mike? You want a bonus round?
I'll do a bonus round, sure.
How
Make it
about
all back in one trade.
I'm gonna look for one on the chat just so it's whatever
That's
the
cool.
best question is from the chat we will use. A final bonus round here. Let's see what you guys have for us.
I think 120 is very low, for the record. I'd like to see that in action.
I think 120 is more what it would take Andy teaching me and Jack.
Which
It
one
is
of
a
you
lot
guys
of
do you think
time.
would take fewer hours?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know what like my hard thinking brain still has in it nowadays. Like a lot of my attention is quick twitch muscle, I feel like. And like that's the other thing. Like in those 120 hours, are you actually cranking out like 8-hour days? Because I feel like my brain would be fucking toast after like 2 hours of the first few days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Andy, are you taking into account like breaks for you guys to head and get an espresso or something during that time?
Yeah, it's 120 hours of like sitting at a computer, and it probably is too low. But
all right.
Ooh,
Let's,
I like Josh's question.
okay. I don't even know if I have a good frame of reference for this.
Me neither. Andy, do you?
no, I've literally
Wait,
no
Mike
idea.
wanted to play though. Mike wanted to play. I'll take the question.
Oh yeah.
if we
This
want.
was a good one.
Well, I don't
This-
have to answer. Someone else should answer.
Yeah, that's true.
This is how many GM tweets has Andy read on Twitter in 2021? Let's see. How many NFTs were minted today?
Oof.
This is just a great Lodden Thinks question.
Just a
right there.
generic
It is.
horse penis.
It is. I like how many hairs are on the back of a full-grown silverback gorilla.
Goodness. Here's another New Year's Eve one. How many shots were taken during New Year's Eve parties? Let's see. I haven't seen a killer question yet. The ingredients to a good Lodden Thinks question is generally something that has a pretty big number because you want there to be a wide range. And you want it. I think the better or the harder it is to actually do math for it, the better. Like the golf swing one was fun, but you can kind of just drill down the math on it.
Even though you guys were 70,000 swings
No, well,
apart.
we were answering different. We were answering different prompts.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right.
Are there even red Teslas?
God,
How
I
many?
need. Come on.
This is like too long of a pause before making a joke. I don't think we can keep playing after this kind of pause.
I
to be
know.
honest.
I'm disappointed. I need a good one. I mean, I can do one, but it was.
You gotta feel good about it. I'm comfortable stepping away as the loser of the evening. We don't have to force one for my benefit.
Let's
Who
how
says
about
it's
this
for your
one?
benefit?
This is a fun one. How many game of NBA Jam have been played since its debut?
That's a good one.
All right. So who's getting asked?
Should we let Goblor do an answer? Release the
Yeah.
answer?
Gobbler, DM me your answer.
That seems unfair.
Gobbler's just posted in the chat once we've all written our answers.
Oh, okay. All right. So just keep it to yourself.
Pete's like, DM me. Okay.
Yeah. What kind of shit is it?
You can DM it to me too if you want. I'll make sure he's close to the one.
All right.
All right. How many games of NBA Jam? See,
God.
are we assuming? Do we know is that Gobbler's actual profile pic? Like, is that him?
I think so. I have no reason to believe he'd be rugging us.
I mean, that factors into other factors.
And NBA all lowercase.
What does this have to do with any? Neither of these things have to do with this.
Oh no, because
This is all the information we have.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Gobbler. Oof. Oh man. Holy shit. Okay.
All right. And sorry. Who? Yeah. Gobbler. We're guessing for Gobbler. How many games of NBA Jam? How many games do you guys think you've played?
Are we talking? Is this collaborative?
No, just yeah. Dead air isn't that great of entertainment for people. So I'm just striking.
I'm thinking.
I've played like maybe 2 or 3.
Really? Okay. I think I
just
probably played 100.
NBA Jam. I've played hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was curious about Gobbler's profile. Like Andy and I feel like are at a massive disadvantage on this question, but is he factoring in like the mobile game? I feel like we didn't play NBA Jam growing up.
This doesn't
but there
include
is a
hardcore.
But there's NBA Jam mobile. All right,
Gobbler, don't share any information here. We gotta just go, I think.
I think it's fuck yeah. This is
I'm surprised no one asked like an Antonio Brown question.
well, it's because you're trying to sign him to your football team. The best was you doing that tweet and then the XFL like a little bit later tweet out, "We are never signing you."
Did they?
Yeah, from their main
Did you
Twitter
see?
account.
Did you see what the FCF tweeted?
No, what did they say?
They tweeted at him like, "Yo, AB, whatever, business booming, come play," and he blocked them on Twitter, but then he unblocked them.
He's like, "Yeah, you don't want to, shut those bridges down."
You guys
hate
have their
that.
numbers.
I have my answer written down.
I do, but I'd love another like 20 seconds.
Gobbler doesn't have to DM it to you. He can just post it in the chat.
mean,
Hold on, not yet.
He's good.
I'm ready. My number's stupid. It's definitely wrong, but I'm ready.
My number, I have this one. I have no fucking idea. I feel
really good about my number.
All
all right, Jack, go.
7,899,652
That is
points.
way too
Impossibly
low.
low.
My number is orders of magnitude higher than that.
Yeah, Andy's
I thought
probably
I
been
was
higher than
guessing
mine.
high.
How many
I said-
units do you think sold?
I said 669 million, and that's probably low.
750 million, and
All right,
I wanted to go higher. Higher.
I went with OpenSea's latest valuation of 13 billion.
Wow.
I wanted to go
Yeah,
2.5 billion, to be honest, but I thought
So 13 billion. I don't
Yeah.
know what year this game came out, but I did 13 billion divided by 365 days in a year, which gives you. I messed it up.
But Andy loses on that guess.
Oh,
and we're even, and we're back to even. Let's go.
So if you say like 1 million people played the game every day, there were 1 million games played per day, per day per year. That would be like 7 billion games played.
I like it by units sold. I assume 10 million units sold of various forms, and like I don't know how many per unit, but like I don't know, 300 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, I think it is. I even the second I wrote down my number, it felt too small. All right.
Jack's number
about
on
my
this is
number?
borderline Fruit Loops low.
Well, Jack,
I thought you meant how many have I played?
Jack wasn't including NBA Jam Mobile, guys. So if
Right.
you would include that,
Oh, well, we include that.
then you're up
Many.
in the billion. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Like I said, make sure you mark your calendars 2 weeks from now for the anniversary show. I actually just got an email from Underdog. During the show, we're going to be cooking up some giveaways. We have some budget for that. It's going to be super fun. We'll keep an eye out for Andy's new NFT game. That sounds very fun. Any other final plugs for you guys here?
Yeah, can I get whitelisted on that, Andy? Mint pass.
I don't
need
think
help
there's be a
planning?
list.
Okay.
Can I get an immunity
yeah,
idol on that one, Andy?
my
round
plug,
two.
Underdog's most paid out players on the site, Emmanuel Quickly and Lamar Jackson. Thank you, Jack Specialman, for those contributions.
There you go. I do notice a common theme. Mike, any final words?
The final words is my 2 warriors remain alive. They've survived the various rounds that happened throughout the show. They have battle scars all over the place, and I'm nervous to go to sleep tonight, but they will fight through the evening, and I cannot wait to see them in the morning.
That's a thing in Squid Game, by the way. You
There
gotta
you
stay
go.
up, Mike. You gotta watch your guys
All right, guys.
I've watched Squid Games for the record. I have seen
with
it.
subtitles.
That's the end of the show. The tribe has spoken. Peace.